The date today, the 14th, is it?
I thought it was the 18th.
18th, yes, it is. Right, so 18th of September 2021. I'm here with Nat. Say hello.
Hello.
Right, and Uncle Dave. And we're going to have a look at Hive 2. And I'm going to carry on talking so it's for my benefit. I don't think I've gone mad, alright? So I'm just going to give them a little puff of smoke to let them know I'm coming. They won't like it.
I don't like it.
They don't like it, no.
I certainly don't.
No, it's horrible stuff. And then I'm just going to
Oh my god.
take the... What are you looking at?
You've got a lot of
apples. Right, so in here, there's nothing.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
So what I've got is this. I just have a look and see if there's anything. So I need to top that up with sugar water. I'm not going to do it yet. This is, they feed, they come up through that hole in the middle, and then they feed on the syrup here. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm just going to move this out of the way. And then we'll have a look inside. Put that on there. Now this is going to, they will start to fly when I open this up, alright? So I'm just going to puff a little bit of smoke in here to let them know we're coming. Here they come. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I heard them before. Oh my.
Are they underneath?
Yes they are. Ooh.
They've created some... so what I've done, I've made a little error, because what I've done, I've given them too much room. And they've decided to make their own comb on the underside of there, but not too much. But this is good. I need to move these frames closer together, but I'm just going to have a little look at these two to see if there's anything on them.
There's bees on them?
There's bees on them, but they haven't actually done very much with it. I was hoping they would draw it out, and so I'm going to move these closer, and I've got the slight problem because I need to think about, maybe I'll leave that as it was.
What's that metal thing?
Which thing?
That metal, whatever that is.
That, oh well, that's a treatment for a disease that all beehives have got, and so you have to treat for it to reduce the impact. It doesn't do them any good having the mites that come with it. So I'm just going to take this off and get to the underside here. Right, so we'll have a little look. So this is frame. This is a dummy board at the end. There won't be anything going on there, so we'll just put that down there. Are you okay with this little lot? They're not annoying you, or?
No.
Okay, so let's have a look on the end here. Now that's interesting. They've just completely eaten through the whole of that.
Do they eat it?
I don't know what they've done with it, but that's not right. So I need to replace that. So Hive frame one. I shall need to come back and do it another day. I'm going to come back in now. That's brand new and not even been touched. That's what they call foundation. There's nothing, no action on there at all. So I'll need to possibly move that towards the centre a wee bit. So we're on to frame number 3. Let me get in here. And then you can start to feel the weight of these things. There was nothing to see on the other two.
Did we see the queen bee? Awesome.
Yeah. So now on here, oh, sorry, can you see on there you've got two sorts of,
yeah.
You've got what they call sealed honey, or up the top here.
Yeah.
And it's in this typical semi-circular shape. And then underneath it, can you see that it's not sealed?
Yeah, it's like brownish.
So that is nectar. And the only difference is nectar is honey, but it's got more water in it than it should have. So once it gets to a certain amount of water in it, then they'll seal it over and it becomes honey. So they do it by dehydrating the nectar.
Do they drink?
And
oh.
they do drink, actually. They drink water, but this is a carbohydrate for food.
Oh yeah, you told me they go to like the pond sometimes.
They do go to the pond. You'll have probably seen them over there. I'm just going to move this thing out of the way. They've stuck it down. Can you just try and lift that off? Just take it off. Oh, you can't, can you? Because they've stuck it down with this propolis, so it does eventually come off. But it's this.
Oh.
They've started doing things, so I'm going to just shake them off. So.
Do they make that comb, honey? The comb?
They make all of this. I give them foundation to start them.
Yeah.
And then they build the comb, as it's called, the honeycomb. They start doing it. So I give them something to start with, and then they draw it out. And this is really heavy. You can hold this next one. So let me just pick it up. Right, now, this is interesting because it's got, in the middle of there, can you see there's honey on the outside,
Yeah.
which is sealed. This is the dark, I need another hand. I'm going to just place it upside down on here. Let me just do that. And squash a few bees. So on here, this is honey, and it's quite dark. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's sealed. Here we've got brood. Now this is young larvae that's to become wasps. Now it doesn't look too healthy. There's a
Wasps.
oh, sorry, bees. They're going to become bees. But in here we've got unsealed honey or nectar. Can you see that in there? You got that?
Yeah.
So that once that will become sealed, and this is their stores for the winter. They will use it for getting through the winter. So at the moment we've got bees which are being bred for winter, and they're slightly fatter than the summer bees.
What's that orange kind of one there?
What's that? What are you looking at?
The orange one right there. It's got a bit of orange.
Where are you pointing? I'm not sure.
This be right here, right where my finger is.
It is. I need to. It's a bit wobbly there.
More orange and.
I don't know. I think it's just a slightly different variant. It is. They're all honeybees. They're not wasps. Can you see the difference now? If I showed you a wasp next to one of these, I think you'd see it.
Yeah.
But the wasps are certainly much more yellow and
So
black.
would the queen be somewhere around in there?
She's going to be towards the middle, or up this end from memory. Now she's marked. I'll get you to hold this in a second. Right, so here's another one where we've got honey on the outside, same sort of pattern, brood on the inside, not so much, but can you see the brood? It's I'll lay it down. In fact, you hold it, take that one end there, and take that end there. Tell me when you've got it. I'll try and hold it just to support you.
Yeah, got it.
Got it, okay. So can you hold that up comfortably? It's quite heavy, isn't it? And the weight of it is the honey. So this is the honey on the outside here, all the bees, and then yeah. So if you tip it slightly towards, if I tip it up that way, have you still got the weight? You hold it, and this here is the. I'll just put a feather out. I've got my feather. I'll just move them out of the way. So tip it so we've got the light so we can see what we're doing. That's it. Can you manage like that? Just rest the corner on there so the weight's. That's it. Let me just take that. Right, that's it. So on here you've got. I'll just move them out of the way a bit. They normally just move out of the way if you gently. There we are. So we can see what's going on.
Can they sting through the gloves?
They can, but not through these. These are so thick they can't get through them. They have tried.
What about
But
mine?
no, you've got the same as mine. There, you'll be right. So this is brood, and then mixed in with it we've got nectar. So that's what that looks like. So that's frame number 4. No, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Frame 5. So I'm just going to put frame 5 back. Let's just see on this side is anything. We've got some young larvae in here. This is interesting to see. If I showed you, like here,
it's hot.
it is warm, I know. Can you see in there, your eyes are good, I think.
Yeah.
No, you're okay though, aren't you? Can you see little tiny specks of white in the bottom of the cell?
Yes.
They are eggs. And that's one of the things that the beekeeper looks for, is to see that there are more eggs coming. If you look here, there are white semicircular sort of shape in the letter C.
Oh yeah.
They are larvae, alright? So you start off with an egg, a little tiny, it then becomes a larvae, then gets sealed over like this, or this, or this, or this. Yeah? And you'll notice that, so these are young bees about to become bees, they're just larvae at the moment, and they put pollen in here, the bees, the house bees have put pollen in here, and the pollen is this yellowy colour. Can you see it over here? And they use that to feed them. That's the protein. You know, you need protein and you need carbohydrate. So that's the protein in the pollen, and the carbohydrates in the honey. And you need both, of course.
What does the queen look like?
Well, we'll see in a minute. She's not been on that one, but she can't be far away because there are eggs on there, which means that she's laid in there. So she's been laying eggs. So we'll carry on the next one.
When I was younger, when I heard about beehives,
yeah,
I always thought it was like, you know, you have them on trees and that, and then inside it's just a throne with the queen bee sat there.
Yeah. I know. It's nice to think like that, but it's not, is it? Right, so could the queen be here?
What colour dot? Oh,
she's got a white dot on the back of her. So I'm holding it this way around so you can see. Now what I'm going to do is turn it around like that, through vertical, then like that, and then back down like that, so I can see the other side of the frame. Do you follow me? Now on here I got, this is number 6, and as you say, number 6. I can see pollen's going in. There's a bee just here with bright yellow pollen. I can see young larvae. I'm not sure whether I can see eggs on here. That's something I've got to look at. I certainly saw them on the other side. So I've seen eggs on frame 6. So we'll put it back. They don't really want me to do all this. What's that? 7 what?
Maybe 7 there'll be queen.
Maybe. She's not on that one. Don't always see her actually. Sometimes she's just going to...
Does she ever come out?
No. Her job is just to lay eggs. That's all she does. All day long.
Does someone feed her?
Yes, the bees. She doesn't even poo herself. Well, she does, but she doesn't even clear it up. All the bees clear it up for her. Amazing, isn't it? And yeah, so the queen does absolutely nothing. She's a queen. And
You're quite lucky to be a queen bee.
well, yeah, but she has to lay about 1,000 eggs a day, so she's busy. And there's only one. And it's anyway.
When I've ever only seen a queen bee, I've only seen it in like a video.
Yeah, well, we'll show you a queen when we find her. So she's not on there, on this side, not that I can see at the moment. Sometimes she likes the darkness, because this is normally in darkness. We've opened it all up and she's not very happy. Now there's a bee doing a waggle dance. Let me show you that. What? I've got to get rid of this because it stinks. Horrible, isn't it? Right, so what you'll notice, every now and again a bee will go along and do a waggle, and then it will go around and do a waggle. It does it in a figure of 8. Let's see if we can see any doing it. They use it to tell the others where to forage, where to go and get the nectar, where to get the pollen. Are they only doing it? No, I can't see them doing it now. But there's an awful lot of them. I saw one just...
harvesting?
No, there wasn't any excess honey, because all the honey they produce is for them. And what we do as beekeepers is rob their honey from them, which is not very nice. But usually there's excess honey and they don't need it. Oh, there's the queen.
What, there?
Right. So, can you see she's longer?
Oh wow!
Yeah, she's got
She
different.
is huge.
She's got different coloured legs. She's got brown coloured legs, but definitely a queen. Do you agree?
Yeah.
The white spot's not very clear, but that's the queen. Now she's been busy on here because there's, can you see in here little C-shaped white bits there, the larvae again? And then we ought to be able to see eggs, but let me see if I can. Anyway, you've seen the queen now. So if you're just patient, she does turn up.
There she is.
Does she come around where? Oh yeah. But she's much longer, not necessarily fatter, but she's longer. There she's again in the middle. Good picture. Anyway, so that's great. So there's a good queen. She's laying and doing a lovely job. The bees, I've hardly used any smoke, if you've noticed. I've used a little bit just to tell them I'm coming.
Do bees live up for 3 weeks?
No, they live 6 weeks. Yeah, and then that's it. And when they first start, the reason I'm using smoke now is just to move them away from, I don't want to squash them. You can be in charge of that, keep it going. That's it, that's great. Yeah, no, they don't like smoke. But just give me, I want to get this moved up, so poke it in there, but not too hard. That's it, gently like that, that's enough. You can see how you've got to get it just right. That's it, we've done it. So we move them in there. So moving on quickly, because we're getting a bit slow. This is frame number 8, I think. So we saw the queen on frame 7. You can put that smoker down and just put it behind me on the out of the wind direction. So I've got some right, what have you got? Bee?
There's a bee near you. It's now coming to me.
No, don't worry about it. Not unless it's really annoying you, and then you just walk away. Right, so we've got, now I've got some more eggs on here. This is, if you can see them, you're doing very well. Inside there, can you see tiny little specks? Look like little grains of rice. Can you see them?
Yeah.
So they are eggs, and if you can see eggs, you're doing much better than many beekeepers, because they can't, because their eyes aren't that good. Because generally beekeepers are older people, and their eyes aren't that good. But anyway, so we've got pollen on here, lots of pollen. It's sort of an ochre colour, a dark sort of yellow. Can you see it here? This colour?
Yeah.
It's slightly distorted by the sunlight. You've got a bee with lots of that same coloured pollen. Can you see her? Amazing, isn't it? Right, so that's 8. Moving on. We've got another hive to do yet.
Is this one here a dummy?
No, we've only got one dummy. But it's the end one. But so can I have a bit more of your smoke, please? I need to just squeeze them up. We need to keep that thing going as well, because it will go out. So can you do this just in there, so I can, a bit more in there. That's it. Let me just, that's it. I just need to do the same up there. If you go round, that's it. Get it in so it's in there. It's not going in there. Do it like that. That's it. I just don't want to squash any. That's it. Thank you, matey. We can so stick it out of the way. We'll probably need it again in a second, but I don't like the smoke.
Puffing it, keeping it alive?
Yes, you have to every now and again give it a puff, just to keep it going. Right, so on here, what have I got? You're welcome to feel the frame if you'd like to. It's about the same as the other. Well, feel the weight, because it's difficult otherwise. But so on here, what can you see?
Bees.
Yes, you can, hundreds of them. So we've got, what are this down here, do you think?
Well, after when the larvae.
Yeah, so we call it sealed brood.
Sealed brood.
Sealed brood. What we call the larvae, and can you see it over here? If you come over, I'll just push this down. If you have a look inside there, can you see the C-shaped white things? Yeah. So that's unsealed larvae, or unsealed brood rather. So sealed brood and unsealed brood. And then if you can see eggs as well, we've then got brood in all stages. You've got eggs, larvae and sealed brood. So brood in all stages is a good situation to be in, because you know you've got a continuous hive, and you've got continuity. You follow me? Okay, so That's frame number
9?
9. They're all getting a bit agitated. I don't want to upset them. Now on the back here we've also got lots of, can you see in here
What's that bee doing in there?
Cleaning it out.
Oh.
Yeah, they're house bees, and what they do when they're first born, one of their first jobs is to clean out the cells, and so these have all got eggs laid in them just up here. This is a good frame. If you wanted to take a photograph of a frame of bees, this is a good one to take a photograph of. So you've got larvae, sealed brood, and eggs all on that one little corner there. So it's a good frame, and they're looking healthy. And the bees are not coming up. I know they're a little bit in your face, but they're not like they could be, like other bees I've seen. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're getting too hot?
Not too hot.
Yeah. So well, move out of the shade, into the shade, and yeah, give me a little bit of smoke if you can. I just need to move them up. So that was frame number 9. I just want to poke it in there. That's it. Well done. Lovely stuff. Ooh, I've moved out of here. Let me just. No, that's okay. I just don't like squashing anybody. If I can avoid it. Nobody likes to hurt the bee. I'll just loud flame. Oh, that's quite something. Right, so what have I got? What can you tell me? What have I got on the outside? I'm going to put this frame down and you tell me what you can see. Yeah, put it down. Because then, once you've got the hang of this, next time you come, you'll have a better idea what you're looking at.
That's pollen, isn't it?
It's definitely pollen.
That's honey.
Definitely honey.
That's just open spaces.
Well, we would call this the comb, yes, so that's fine. And what they've done, they've taken the foundation, which we saw earlier on, and they've drawn it out. They've made it into a hexagonal shape. Yeah, so that's all good. There won't be a queen on here, of course, because we've already seen her. And we've got in the top here, what do you think that is up the top here?
There's a
nectar. Yes, you were right. I wasn't going to help you, but you've done it. It is nectar. It's nectar is honey, but with it's got too much water in it, and it's what they collect from. Look at that bee. What's she doing?
Is he trying to sting you?
No, she's not. She's lovely. I say she because they're all.
She.
Yeah, there's only 99% of them. 99.
Yeah. You have some. I want to say brutes, but I don't think that's the right word.
You were going to say what?
Brutes for the boys. Or like the fighter.
No, they're called drones, and we haven't seen any. So I haven't seen any drones at all. I'm going to need to get some more stuff in here. This is running out. So we'll go and regroup. We'll have a little drinky, and then we'll have a look at the next one. Let's have a last look at this frame here. So we finish, and then we'll put it all back, and then we'll have a break. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So again, now this is interesting because they've taken this frame. It's slightly warped, slightly bent, but you can see they're just extending out. What they're doing is preparing it so the queen can lay in eggs in there. And nothing on that side. You're not doing anything with it. You okay with all these bees around you? So what I'm going to do now is to push them all back up and try not to... Oh, I've squashed somebody. Come on, you lot. Out of the way. Let's move them all down. I need to... No, I need to just quickly put a bit more in here just to give me something to work with. Yes, come out of the firing line. All that burnt through as I thought it would. So we'll just have a little bit more for now, and then we're going to go. You can hang on here while I put it back.
Oh.
Go and have a drink. That's the best thing, if you're all right.
Huh?
You can go back in if you want and get a drink.
I'll say, oh, yeah.
Entirely up to you. You're welcome to do whatever you like, but I